from Laval?
Maybe 20 minutes, just a bit further north. So you were between the North Shore and and Montreal, and we're just above. Yeah,
Oh
we have
my
a lot of
goodness, so that
trees
was very
here. Yes,
close. I
yes,
just met
very
you.
close.
I
Yeah.
got to tell this story because I was walking around on a street of restaurants, and obviously I don't read French. I don't know a word of French. So on the restaurants, they only have names, but unless you recognize that brand, you don't know what it is. So I walked up. I wanted some barbecue. It said barbecue Quebec. And I was like, I just want some barbecue ribs. And I walked up to the store, and Barbecue Quebec sells not barbecue ribs, but barbecue equipment. I was like, I am so hungry. I'm dead. But that's just a fun little thing that I went through yesterday. I did end up eating. So thank you. Quebec was great. But back to you, Megan. Tell us a little bit about your story, where you're from. How did you get started in real estate?
Oh my God. I've been a broker since 2008. And I started because I was walking down streets and I loved looking into people's houses. And I was like, okay, I need to figure out a way to get into people's houses. It was a bit of a rough start, 2008, the crash. I didn't have much experience, so I joined a team, and I didn't have that great of an experience with it. Just being, I guess it was just more somebody's, right. Well, no, somebody who was looking for. I don't even know how to explain it. Anyways, it just wasn't a right fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up tagging up with a condo management company who was looking to refer brokers. And that opened a lot of doors for me. I started doing it also a bit of condo management on the side. And then I got into new constructions. So I sold a lot of new constructions in Montreal, including the Tour des Canadiens. There's three towers for the Canadians. I sold two and three. A few other big towers downtown, and then COVID hit, and I had to evolve. That's what we do, right? We're brokers, and we have
Mm-hmm.
to shed our skin and
Yep.
get to know what we should do. So I shopped around, and once I met Jean-Sébastien Boiteau, it was a fit. The values we were right. Great energy, and good team spirit. I needed a team. You can't, for myself, I need to be in a team. So the fit was perfect. Been doing this now for 3 years here in Lorraine, and it's just been an amazing experience. Learning every day how to become a better broker, and how to just be a really good broker and do great transactions. And they haven't all been easy, but you learn from that too. So yeah, and then we had our agency, and we switched over to eXp, and then the rocket took off. Like, it's been just an amazing experience ever since.
Awesome, awesome. So, starting in 2008, followed a team, but really didn't work out. How did
Mhm.
you get out of that? Because right now, I think because of the high interest rate environment and low inventory environment, the sales are down no matter where you look in North America, 20, 30, 40%. How are you navigating that? And are there some parallels compared to when you went through 2008?
In 2008, there was a lot more inventory, and it was kind of the opposite, because then the interest rates eventually dropped, and there was so much inventory, and there was maybe too much, and things were taking a really long time to sell.
Mm.
This time around, the difference is the opposite. Obviously, the interest rates are higher, less inventory, but I think that we're really dealing with a realistic market, in the sense that you're going to have an inspection, and somebody who's going to look at that inspection report, if they're not happy, they're going to walk away.
Mm.
And that's where the experience that you have and the tools that you have to make it so that it doesn't fall, makes it so that you make your deal. Because I feel like you have like a 50% chance higher of your deal falling somewhere in the transaction, versus for the last 10 years, it wasn't really something that was a big deal. But now people are being, very cautious, especially with COVID that happened and people were buying so frivolously. So I find that, being having the right tools, the right people to
Mhm.
support you, uh, saying the right things to manage your clients, to reassure them. I think that that's really important now. So to be able to evolve with that, I think that's the key right now.
Wow. Just from you telling me that tells me you've been through the grinder. Like you know what to expect. You've had a lot of deals falling apart and you know how to set up expectations with clients these days. That's a very
Yeah,
smart observation in that 2008 we had a ton of inventory, everything was taking forever to sell. And now we have a high interest rate and high inventory environment where deals may fall apart if it has a chance to, and you
yeah,
have to set the right expectations with the buyer and the seller. These days we're having to tell our seller once we get an accepted offer, it's only the start. It's not the
that's
end,
right. That's
right?
right.
So
It's not a home run. Jean Sebastien has always told me, you start negotiating the minute you meet your client,
mm,
right away, and even before going into inspection, it's like you need to manage them. You need to foresee for them, whereas they're not able to see it.
I love that. And
Mm.
so you as a sales director of the team for Jean Sebastien, what do you do on a daily basis to coach your team, mentor your team?
We've been through a transition, and I think that it was an important one to have a good sense of team spirit. The energy in the office has to be good. We've been really working on building a great environment. So on a daily basis, I'm still full time, listing broker, selling broker.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, I'm still managing that full time, and we've got four brokers that are, that are active as well, and I've got three more that are finishing their exams in the next 2 weeks. The goal is to bring them as many tools as possible, but also to, I have a couple of experienced brokers, and still I remain the I guess the person for support. Everybody needs support. Doesn't matter
Mm,
how long you've been doing this. But and then for new brokers, I'll bring them around with me, come and see what it's like um, speaking to clients, because it's a different language. It's not just speaking to people that There's a language that needs to be spoken, that your clients are confident with the choice they made with you or are going to make with you. So I really try to convey that integrity that comes with being a real estate broker, and to take everything seriously. And then, coaching, obviously, the cold calls, the door to door, that's just fun stuff too.
awesome. Wow. So you're producing agent, listing and selling homes, and you're taking care of four agents and three
Yeah,
onboarding at this time.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
So what does Jean Sebastian do then for the team?
Jean Sebastien is he calls himself the person who does the lights and back of the show.
Okay.
He's support obviously for all of the team, and he's very active, with conferences, and obviously supporting myself, but he's very much involved in developing, so that eXp Canada hasn't, not Canada, Quebec, is fairly new, I guess, to
Yeah.
the rest of eXp. So he's been working really hard on making sure that we're developing our team in the right
Love
direction and making great collaboration. I mean,
it. Yeah.
it's amazing to be part of a banner that when you come into any event, any conference, you're friends with everybody already. You're talking to people. And he has a big part in that. He also does a podcast, Dans le Ring Immobilier, which has phenomenal content for real estate brokers, whether they're new or more experienced. So there's a lot of he's the cameraman, he's the light man in the back,
I
and
love it.
it's because of him. He started this 23 years ago. It's because we're
Wow.
here in Lorraine. He was very active. He has a great reputation, so we really have to work hard to maintain that. We can't take that for granted.
I love it. Yeah, it's always the day one mentality. You can't be taking anything for granted. Once
No.
you take anything for granted, things start to fall apart, or people walk away from you. So You are that. It sounds like you are the glue that holds everything together. He's the visionary, then you have the agents, and you're the glue, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I've been able to really exploit my strengths,
Hmm.
and I'll figure out weaknesses. I mean, everybody's got some good and some bad, and I've been able to really exploit all of that and really thrive. It's been great.
You have a tough job, I'll tell you that much. And still producing, I don't know how you do it. So kudos to you. So you said you guys just came over to EXP 3 years ago?
No, we just came in February. It
Oh, just
hasn't
came
been
in
that
February, so
long.
brand new. But you've
Yes,
been working with Jean
yes.
Sebastian the last
I've
three
been
years.
working, yes. So he had his
Gosh,
agency, and yes, so it's been only since February, which is, the move was, we put a lot of thought into it, but it was so natural. It was like, why is not every broker part of EXP? It still
right.
doesn't make sense to me, like
I
what do you mean?
exactly. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So,
No.
what was the main draw for you guys, do you think? Owning an agency from that perspective.
Right? So that was the main reason why we made the change, was that EXP could offer us tools to better ourselves, trainings, brokers, coaching, and the community that comes behind it. Right? It's like I said, any other banner when you walk into the office, and I've been part of that. So I'm not trying to discount anything, but you walk into the office, you're working, you won't necessarily acknowledge anybody who's in the office, or so going to the conferences and everything, and getting to meet people, and just being part of something where everybody has the same goal, and it's everybody wants everybody to lift and rise together. It's not like, I'm going to do better than you and you're not as good as I am, and that feeling of just being part of something, we're all going towards the same goal, has been great.
I love that. Yeah, I think for an agent who wants to become an owner without having to pay the upfront brick and mortar fees, or pay a
Yeah.
franchise fee, or hire staff to be able to get the income that they want on top of selling real estate, I think it's the way to go. And for you guys, it sounded like it was a no-brainer, correct?
Oh, it was a no-brainer. I think in 30 days the decision was made, and like I said, he's had his agency, not for 23 years, but at least for 10 years. So to give that up, that was a really big move on his part, and again, it was for us to thrive, to see what we could benefit from that. So that was great.
Wow. We're so glad to have you. You guys are essentially brand new. So if there's anything you
Yeah.
guys need, who to reach out to. Obviously, Natalie and Nadia aren't here, but I'm always here for you. Megan, what's new and exciting for you guys in the next year? What are some of your biggest goals?
I think it's understanding what our potential is now that we have these tools. I think there's a mind frame, a mindset that you have to kind of adapt to, and understanding that you can reach pretty much anywhere you want to go now that we have the foundation that we do. And I think it's just setting up, brokers to do a good job. And yes, to build our team and everything. I mean, but I think the goal is to just have people that are surrounding us doing the same kind of job with the same kind of integrity as we are, and that will make it so that our collaborations are easier, and everybody kind of just thrives. So the goal, I think, is just to help brokers bring themselves to exploit their potential.
I love that, Megan. I do think that, sometimes we focus on the big goal of let's sell 300 homes or let's make $3 million. And at the end of the day, what you're really talking about is focus on the today, focus on the journey, focus on being
Yeah,
a better agent, doing
yeah.
a better job for our clients. I mean, that's what it's really all about. So I think that's phenomenal. Thank you for sharing that. In the next 3 to 4 months, we're going into what Glenn would call a storm, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it may be, whatever that means. How do you prepare your agents and agents in general that are listening to this to really become successful in the next little while?
Listen, there's no, and you know, anybody you're going to hear speaking, they're all going to say the same thing. There's no magic to this. You have to do your prospecting. If your name and you keep up your prospecting, you keep your head down and you make it through the storm, because if you put your head up and you look at what's going on around you, I think it's, you know, I mean, you have to be aware, obviously,
Yeah.
but I think it's not to get wrapped up in it, and just, you know, focus, stay on your path, have your objectives, your, you know, 1 year, 2 year, 5, 10, whatever way you want to do it. Keep your head down. But at the end of the day, it's about prospecting and follow ups.
Mm.
That's it. I'm sure every broker out there has at least, you know, 15 to 20 clients that, you know, in the last year they haven't been able to keep up with and stuff like that. But that's, you know, we can't take it for granted. We need to keep in touch with our clients. And that's where the clients are going to know that no matter what, we're by their side, even if there is a storm, you know, prospecting, follow-ups. That's there's no magic solution to this. You've got to do the work.
I just want to say I love you so much. That's exactly my message every single time. The P word, nobody wants to talk about it, but really what
No,
it is keeping your head down. And you do have to put up your head to breathe a little bit to see what's going
yeah,
on out there, but you have to focus on doing the best job, prospecting and lead follow up every single day so you can make it through the storm and thrive.
yeah.
Megan, thank you so much. Any last insight for us?
No, I think, well, I think it's just, you know, it's been 15 years going on 16, and I think it's a question of, you know, being consistent, and not being too hard on yourself. I think it's easy to look around again and see how everybody else is doing better. Social media has such a huge impact on us. You know, we see everybody's bright lives and everything, and you know, everybody's going through a hard time at some point. So just to have that confidence that, you know, if you whatever you give is what you're going to get. That's really what it comes down to. Your worth is going to be defined by what you put out. That's it, and
Wow.
to stick to it.
Stick to it, become
Yeah.
as consistent as possible, and just put your head down and work. I mean, that's
Yeah.
all there is to it. Get back to the basics. I just want to give you a big old hug.
I would love to meet you. I'm telling you, I follow you. I see your stuff, and I'm just like, oh my God, I relate to everything that you put out there. And I love that
Likewise.
you're sharing that message to people. And I mean, that's what brings us all together and makes us better brokers. So thank you for even taking the time to speak with me and everybody else that you do.
Absolutely. The pleasure is mine. Megan, I look forward to seeing you in Quebec soon. Thank you
Yes.
so much for your time today. Keep crushing it. We'll see you soon.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.